Viewers, if you're tuning in right now, there's been a horrific case that has come to light from Pune. A 22-year-old woman who was allegedly raped by a man who entered her house in Pune on Wednesday evening by posing as a delivery executive. The incident took place at around 7:30 p.m. in a housing society inside the woman's flat. Remember, this was not middle of the night. This is evening, busy hours, 7:30. The woman was reportedly alone at the time of this attack. The Pune police said that the victim was alone after her brother had stepped out for some work. This 22-year-old woman was then raped after this man gained entry into the society posing as a delivery executive. Now, before we go any further, viewers, what's flashing at the bottom of your screens is our calling line number. Call us, tell us how shocked you are about this. What are the questions that come to your mind? The safety concerns. So many of us live in gated societies. This could happen to anyone, anytime. And what could be the solution? We're going to discover those solutions, those possible remedies together over the course of the next 30 minutes. I want to first play out this soundbite of Rajkumar Shinde, who's the DCP of Zone 5 in Pune, under whose ambit this case has come to light. We then talk more on this.
Jurisdiction of Kondwa Police Station in Pune City. Offence under section 6477 351(2) of BNS is registered. Yesterday at 7:30, Nirbhaya, age 22 years, one delivery boy with bank envelope entered her flat, and he said that courier is there, but I have forgotten the pen. So Nirbhaya went inside her home to take the pen. Meanwhile, immediately he closed the door and this incident happened. 10 teams, 5 of crime branch and 5 of zonal teams are working on it.
Okay, now 10 teams have been formed to nab this accused, but the audacity of this crime itself is shocking many, including me, because as I said, so many of us live in gated societies and this could happen to anyone, anywhere. Revati Hingwe, my colleague, joins me live to talk more on this. Revati, talk to us about and walk us through what is it that the police is telling you about. How soon are they planning to in fact close this case? What is the investigation looking like right now? Walk us through all those details.
Right, as you rightly mentioned, a spine-chilling incident has happened in Pune's Kondwa area, where a 22-year-old girl was brutally raped by a man posing as a delivery agent. He entered the society saying that he has got a parcel from bank. Then he reaches out to the woman and there he says that I've got a parcel from bank. When she refuses, she says that this parcel does not belongs to me. He forces her to sign and then he says that I've forgotten my pen. Can you please lend me a pen? Using this, he entered the flat and then he sprayed a substance on the victim's face and then he brutally raped the victim. This is not just the end of the incident. Later, he rests on her back and he clicks a selfie on the victim's phone and he mentions that I'll be back again. This incident was reported on Wednesday at around 7:30 p.m. and Kondwa police is currently investigating the matter further. Also, the medical tests are being done at Sassoon Hospital of the victim currently. Also, what substance was sprayed? This is also under investigation as the substance is being sent to the forensic lab as said by DCP Rajkumar Shinde. Now the question arises, is Pune city safe? Because yesterday National Women's Commission chairperson Vijaya Rahatkar was on Pune tour and at that point of time Pune police told her that gave a report that Pune city is safe and all the possible schemes are being implemented in Pune city. But when the National Commission for Women's chairperson was in Pune, this incident happened on the same day. Also today and tomorrow, HM, Central Home Minister Amit Shah is on a Pune tour and he will be going in the same area where this incident happened. Now,
stay with me, Revati. I'm going to come back to you. I want to first quickly get in our callers and then we get in Mr. PK Jain as well for more on this. But Mr. Jain, let me first go across to the caller, Harish, who's calling us from Mumbai on this. Go ahead, Harish. What are the first thoughts that come to your mind? What is it that you want to say on this story?
Very good afternoon. I wanted to check, why are the politicians and the law enforcement taking it easy, whether it is whichever state in the country, West Bengal, Andhra, Karnataka, Maharashtra, why are they so lax on these issues. I'm really surprised that we are tolerating that nonsense for years together. Why? Why do we need to sacrifice innocent lives? Women, children, anybody.
Right. That's a very pertinent point you've made. And Harish, in fact, thanks so much for calling us. That was Harish Das from Mumbai. He raised a larger point in terms of a pattern that there are now cases coming to light. Remember, we're also looking at the Kolkata rape case as well. So the caller making a point about cases being across the country. But Mr. Jain, I want to first reflect as far as this case is concerned, and we're also going to tell our viewers the big questions that come to mind, and I'm going to rope in Saurabh for that in terms of what all are the big questions that come to your mind in terms of the immediate to, of course, safety on a long-term basis. But Mr. Jain, the fact that this could happen so easily in a gated society where everybody boasts about, major security infrastructure. They say that there's so much money and effort and resources go into security infrastructure. But look at the ease with which a crime like this can be committed.
Gauri, thank you very much for having me here on this show. Yes, it's a very horrific incident. The society is an upscale society with security personnel at the gate. But apparently they are not doing their job properly. In fact, when delivery boys who are absolutely unknown to anybody, they come to the society, their credentials should be checked, only then they should be let in. Now, this system is followed in some of the societies. In many of the societies, it is not followed, which leads to this kind of an incident. The second thing, of course, the police is on the job. They will certainly catch this criminal because taking a selfie, he's being very brazen about it. I think he's trying to send a message to this family. How does he go to a particular flat itself? How does he know that the girl would be alone there? So there would be some kind of an inside job in this incident. Maybe one of the earlier watchmen, maybe somebody close to a security personnel.
Absolutely.
I'm sure the police is going to look at various angles in this case.
Absolutely.
But, I like to add, Gauri, one more thing. The citizens also have to be security conscious.
Yes.
Whenever somebody comes to your gate and he asks for water or pen or something like that, please close your door. I would advise the citizens to please close your door. Don't leave the door open for that fellow to follow.
Mr. Jain, hold your thought there, sir. Hold your thought there, sir. You made a very important point, and that's something I must tell our viewers as well. And then we get in Saurabh, who's going to put those big questions for our viewers as far as this case is concerned. But the couple of important points that Mr. Jain is mentioning here is first and foremost that make sure that you're mindful of security concerns all the time. That's the first thing that he said. And the second important fact he said was it could be an inside job as well. You cannot rule that out as well, that at any point of time, so many societies you see that the security infrastructure is actually outsourced. It's outsourced to a third party and they take care of whichever other security guards that are there. And that churning is so regular that no one really knows that who's the security guard right now and who was actually deployed last month. And that's some of the questions, in fact, Saurabh, that we're going to put forth to Mr. Jain and also, of course, try and get some of those answers through the course of this broadcast. But go ahead, Saurabh. There are some more questions that you have that we must address in this case.
Well, cities like Pune, cities like Mumbai, cities like Delhi, cities like, all of these cities where people come from different places. A lot of people, move into these gated societies and they live there. And often, obviously, security remains a question. And this is something that obviously now everyone's asking. Now, when you move into a gated society like this, the first question is that do you have verification? Because one of the things that a lot of people ask is how was entry allowed without verification in this case? Was this person actually a delivery boy? What was he delivering? All of those things. Secondly, should societies spend more on security? And that's a very important question because like Mr. Jain was saying, we have to be security conscious. And if these days there are apps, etc., that allow you to screen every visitor to see whether they should be allowed or not. So obviously the security apparatus is available. Whether societies should actually spend more, that's a question. Given it's a question of security, then of course stricter background checks, because this is something that we've seen in. This is not the first case where someone using the pretense of being a delivery boy has done something like this. So obviously this is something that again needs to be looked at. Background checks for people engaged in this, and of course how to make communities safer for women. Larger awareness is something that's very important. And the last one is, most important, that again, will an incident like this act as a wake-up call to make our society's living areas more safe and overall make it a safer community for women? These are the questions that would be on everyone's mind as they watch the reports on this story.
Absolutely. Thanks much, Saurabh, for walking us through some of those important questions that we're going to highlight in this broadcast. Let's quickly get in another caller, Meena Suri, who's calling us from Pune. Go ahead, ma'am.
What I want to bring to point is the securities in the societies are not at all attentive. They have a very friendly attitude when people enter in. The checks should be more stricter. The security guards should be still more well trained, and also the security agencies should be becoming like a mushrooming business where there is no quality of work. There's nobody who is really serious about what they are doing. This is very important.
Right. All right. Thanks much for sharing your thought. That was Meena Suri, another caller calling us from Pune. And lack security, casual security and lack of having a clear safety protocol is something that many have pointed out. And let's go back to Mr. Jain, who's with us on this. So how do we standardize these safety protocols? Because, these are private societies, gated communities. All of them do say that a lot of resources are going into safety, but this is the end result. How do we standardize safety protocols?
Gauri, these safety standards and protocols have already been standardized. All security agencies are supposed to be putting all their guards through some kind of a training. The training has been structured. But unfortunately, what happens, even in Mumbai, a city like Mumbai, these security agencies are so much short of manpower that the trains which are coming from UP, they ask the people actually whether they are unemployed, are they looking for a job? And the moment he says yes, they catch hold of him, charge him a fee of 800 rupees for his uniform and put him on the job. So without a training, without any kind of formality being completed, the basic formality, the people are put on the job. And these people become a serious threat to the security of the residents of a particular building. So when the society hires a company or society hires a guard, they should not be miser about it. You want to pay 8,000 rupees to a security guard, don't pay him well enough. Well, he is bound to commit some kind of an offense, or he may land up. He is prone to committing an offense. So pay a security agencies well enough.
Okay.
Ask for a trained manpower. There should be no frequent change of security guards.
Yes.
Are some of the basic requirements. Second is the guard doing his job. The management of the society, the MEMC should keep checking. The residents should keep checking whether they are doing their job properly or not.
Indeed.
And the third thing, Gauri, which is most important, is you have to secure yourself. Preferably, I always keep saying that a house should be guarded by 2 doors. One should be having slots, so if you have to receive a package, you can receive through a closed door. You don't have to open the door. And the second one is that you must keep a stick, a small stick, 2 feet long stick somewhere at 2-3 places in the house so that you can protect yourself. And the third thing is that you must not leave your door open behind you when you are going inside to get a glass of water or a pen or something.
Absolutely. That should always be the case. And I'm glad you're pointing that out, because people watching, our viewers watching this broadcast, need to be mindful of these simple but very important safety measures. At all points of time, these need to be kept in mind. Revati, let me come back to you. The fact is that this is a case that has also sent shockwaves around a lot of single women around India. In most major towns, in all gated communities, you have a rising number of young working single women, and any one of them could be as susceptible as the victim in this case.
As you rightly mentioned, that the women's safety in Pune city is being questioned at this point of time, because as I mentioned earlier, National Commission for Women's chairperson Vijay Ratkar was on a Pune tour last night. Also, if we look back at some incidents that happened in Pune city in last 2 to 3 months, also if we look at the NCRB report for Maharashtra is on the top for crime against women. Now, when the chairperson for National Commission for Women's was here in Pune, she held a meeting with Pune police. All the needed reports were given, but yet there was no highlights of what exactly is the ground report. There is no exactly information given on what is the ground reality. There are many women who are facing such incidents, because in this particular incident we have there's a question which rises on that how come the guy know about the fact that the woman was alone inside her flat, how it is possible to intervene, and what kind of substance he used after which he brutally raped that woman. There are many questions at this point of time, but police is investigating the matter further, and we really hope that whatever other details are put forward, so that all women out there know the fact that they are what should they be doing.
Absolutely.
Once they are alone at home.
Absolutely, and we are telling this. That's the purpose of this broadcast, to ensure that the viewers watching this should be mindful of the security measures that we are putting out. In fact, Mr. Jain is highlighting simple safety protocols that everybody needs to follow at all points of time to ensure that you are safe. Second, viewers, if you're tuning in right now, what's flashing on our screens is our calling lines, numbers. Pick up the phone, dial those, punch in those numbers and speak to us about a story that in fact impacts all viewers watching this. It could happen anywhere to anyone in gated communities. These are high-rise, multi-story buildings where this kind of an intrusion that has taken place has actually sent shockwaves around major cities. All right, Mr. Jain, let me come back to you with another final word on this, so to say, which is that while one is debating about the specifics of this case, that investigation will point out whether it was a disgruntled employee, a former employee, and, all those details will come out. In terms of what could be the broad framework that you said that SOPs are already in place, there are safety standards, but they're not being followed. Is there a way to ensure that they are more strictly followed by all large gated societies?
As I had mentioned earlier, the large gated societies must hire security agencies which are reputed, instead of going to chiller agencies or fly-by-night operators who hire people without verification, without training. And they must ensure that the agency they are hiring has got a proper license. The licenses are granted to security agencies by the Joint Commissioner of Police. Now, they have a proper license. They have a proper license of their men having been trained. They must take these certificates, and proper PF and everything is paid. I mean, all those things must be verified by the managing committee of a society before they hire a security agency. And my request to all these societies and all the buildings, standalone buildings, is kindly don't take shortcuts. Don't go in for cheap security. Go in for a proper security. Give them proper relief. I've seen societies where you have only one guard. During the day, he is used for switching on the water supply line and everything. Some people, the office bearers send him to get vegetables and all that. And night they expect him to do his, his security duties.
You're pointing out some very major lapses that happen more often than not. I'm going to leave it there, Mr. Jain. Thanks much for speaking to us on NDTV. And Revati Hingwe, my colleague, who was giving us the details about this particular story.